Hello again, because I just remembered. I didn't have my microphone all the way up. Welcome. Hi. Hello. Welcome, everybody. Today, we're doing something different. I was originally going to do Infinity Nikke, but I didn't really want to do that. I mean, I did. I really did want to do it, but I really wanted to do some story stuff, and I really wanted to start trying to dive in to the actual story instead of being like how I constantly am right now, which is realizing that I'm not cleaning my glasses good enough. Yeah, I know. Completely not what it sounds like I was about to talk about. No, I noticed some spots on my glasses, and apparently they come off pretty easily when you scratch it. Let me scrub it, 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 scrub it. I think I just made it worse. I may have to wash this cloth. I don't know if that would be a good thing. I know I just scratched most of you off. I think I need to get new glasses anyways. But yes. So, I really got the craving to want to do a story. To work on the story. So we're going to do chapter 1. We're going to start working on chapter 1 today. So no matter what, we're going to be working on chapter 1. However, before we do that, there's a few things I want to scribble down. Some minor characters who just kind of appear in the story occasionally. They'll have a name, but they really won't be prominent outside of very specific instances. Because, you know, they're minor characters, and you need to have some minor characters in your story. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. But we also have the main location for the story. The species we worked on the other day. The last time we did it. What do you want, phone? Okay, hold on. My benefits don't expire. Sorry. So yeah, if they do expire, I'm gonna be pissed. But so yeah, we have a few things that I added. I don't know if I actually, no, a lot of stuff I hadn't actually added to the thing yet. Group of rebel called the Dustborn. No. No, but we do have some new things. I added a few things a couple weeks ago. The species we already went over last time. But we do have an actual location for the story. This is the main location where everything happens in the story, for the most part. I had to crack that one joke. Welcome, 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 everybody. But yeah, so Paradise Island is the main area for the story. It is. Yeah, probably should put this in parentheses. Formerly known as Japan. That is massive text. I don't think we needed it to be that large. There we go. So Paradise Island, formerly known as Japan, it is located off the coast of the Elven Kingdom of Mercury, which is basically, I want to say China, in their China region of the story. It doesn't need to make any sense. It will make sense, but it doesn't need to. Role and story, the main island where the story takes place. Again, Everything in this is basically the story takes place in this island throughout the entire series. Now, the related characters Leon, Alicia, Hilda, Serenity, Fasha, Lulu, and Yuna. Again, those are the characters who are actually there. The season, it's winter year-round. It's always either winter or rain. As the unique feature is only has 2 seasons, either winter or rain. There is no summer and there is no fall. It's just constant cold or wet. That doesn't mean there's actual snow, but, it's just mainly winter. The description is the island formerly known as Japan. It became paradise a few hundred years after the Great Rift incident. The island is now at least 5 times the size it used to be, along with all new terrain. It's comprised of 5 separate sections: Inner City, Elven Sanctuary, Dividing Wall, Port Town, and Outer Rim. So these are the 5 areas that are the 5 general areas of the island. The Inner City, the main area of Paradise Island, in which the majority of the population reside and where most of all the important and interesting locations are. The Inner City is connected to the port and is technically the largest of the areas, mainly due to population. It's basically, think of it as like Las Vegas. Basically, just think of it like Las Vegas. It's just a massive city inside of a wall. Sounds like the upper part of Japan, mainly Hokkaido region. I've never been to Japan, so I don't know. But basically, it's just winter year-round. It's either rain or winter, divided into 5 parts. With, the inner city being basically, where everybody lives. The main part of it. The Elven Sanctuary. The sanctuary where most of the Elven population is located, and is the home of the Church of the First Lord. It is the largest section of the island in sheer size, but the population is less than the inner city, since the majority of it is made up of elves. Basically, the Elven Sanctuary is where the Pope resides. Is basically the Catholic Church. It's basically the Vatican. That's what it was. I was trying to remember what it was. The Vatican. It's basically the Vatican. It's basically, the Elven Sanctuary is basically the Vatican located on the island. It is a massive area where elves live. Where mainly elves live. There are other people there, but most of them are elves. And it takes up like the eastern section of the inner city. They're kind of all over. Most of them are modern elves because, they're with the times. Paradise really doesn't have, well, it does have forests on the outer rim. It's less so like forest elves and more like religious elves. Gotta turn my little fan on. But, so yeah, that's basically what the sanctuary is. It's just this massive location in the inner city. The dividing wall... Paradise Port. The port is the main way to enter and leave the island. Monk elf. The port is the main way to enter and leave the island and is also the main military headquarters of Paradise. It is the center of trade and commerce in all of Paradise, and where the guild is located. There are 2 smaller ports located in the south of the Outer Rim and near the Elven Sanctuary, but they are mainly for military operations. Those ports are basically like defensive areas in it rather than anything else. The main port is like the only real way to get in there. The southern and the Elven port are just like trade route / military. It's just a massive port with a military headquarters attached to it, basically. The Dividing Wall. A massive wall that circles the majority of the island on the outskirts of the inner city. Originally created to protect the city from the mist and the nightmares, and while it is still used for that with the population growing, many have had to leave the wall's safety. Many not of their own will. It is also used as a means of segregation against the classes, low, middle, high, and noble. The wall itself is outfitted with 4 separate entrances between the inner and outer rim, while also equipped with numerous turrets and defensive measures over the years. Basically, think of it like Attack on Titan, with more guns. And by more guns, I mean a shitload of guns. I mean, there's guns on top of guns kind of scenario. And giant self-closing doors. So that's the dividing wall. It is literally just a giant wall with defenses that basically prevents the mist from entering and exiting. Mainly entering the city. The Outer Rim, the largest part of the island. That is true. Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress would also be a good reference. The Outer Rim, the largest part of the island due to size, but it's dotted with forests and mountains all over. And the majority of the population of the Outer Rim are low middle-class civilians who are trying to make their lives. Very little military presence, but has a large guild presence, including a defense force to combat the nightmare threat. It has sporadic villages and towns dotted all around them, with the biggest being located at the 4 entrances to the wall. Hilda's shop is located on the Outer Rim, along with the Order of the Phoenix Congregation, also located there. So, our main hero and the rest of them live on the outer wall. That's where they work in the Hilda's shop. And the Order of the Phoenix is also there, which I did not realize I put as them being on the outside. I, and my infinite thoughts, thought I put them on the inside. Still works. We can still make this work for my stuff. Order of the Phoenix is where Alicia. It's basically a church. Think of it as a religion that doesn't particularly follow religious doctrine. It's kind of like a covenant. Well, no, I don't know if it'd be like a covenant. It's basically an organization that does religious stuff without having a full fixed religion. It mainly deals with special cases of magic and stuff. They have like priests and priestesses. Unlike a church, it's not a church, but it does utilize religious practices. Just it doesn't preach them. YMCA. I guess kind of like that. It's more so they do follow a sort of doctrine, but it's not religious. They don't follow. The Phoenix is mainly there because it's representative of rebirth. So that's basically why it is. So yeah, Alicia is from the Order of the Phoenix. She's a priestess there. And Hilda's shop, of course, is our great mechanical goblin, Hilda Iron Fist. She's basically, repairman, mechanic, cyborg fixer. We do have some special locations in there. I only have one, but there's probably going to be more as we go through the story. Leviathan Technologies, an institute that works as both a place of study and a place for research. Most individuals who attend for study immediately get hired to become researchers. They have numerous fields of study and research ranging from simple to computer tech. Basically, they kind of do it all. But they do in-house training, and then you basically get hired there. So that is Paradise. Literal Bob the Builder incarnate. She basically is. She likes to tinker with everything. If she can't fix it, she feels she's failed as a person. Which is basically what she is. We have one minor character right now. That's only because I thought of him while I was taking a shit. I literally thought of him as I was taking a shit. Like, you know what? We need this random character for the setup future in this future scene. So I created him while I was thinking that. George E. Mend. A street dancer usually found near the donut shop on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in the early mornings. He's basically a character that'll appear a couple of times, but he's just, he's a minor character. You'll say, "Hey, how you doing, George?" "Doing good," as he goes out dancing in the street. Type deal. I thought of him for a future scenario that I'll concoct later on in the story. So he'll play a minor role. And then I did think of another character. I spelled that wrong. Barbara? Is that how you spell it? I don't know. Doesn't work on Sundays. Such a Chad. Well, he's got his studies. I don't know. He's a minor character. I haven't really thought all the way through for that. Barbara. You know what? Barbara Wright. We'll spell it with a W-R. Barbara Wright. Leon and... Yeah, owns... owns the donut shop. That Leon and Hilda go to... That Leon and Hilda get donuts and coffee from every morning. Does he also hate Mondays? No! I don't know! Stop asking questions. I didn't think this all the way through. I literally thought of it while I was taking a shit. There's not much thought to this character other than the fact that he's a street dancer and he works 5 days out of the week. That's all there is to it. I have no control over what he is. Oh. So I did also add some extra details on the Scribbles page, Notes and Scribbles. The last thing we worked on was the 72 gods, which, the 72 gods were created to represent the many different religious followings in the early days after the rift. It became an established religion a few centuries later in which all species were allowed to worship in peace and without fear. Basically, that means there are 72 different religions in the world that they all kind of worship. Imagine the street performer had 1/4 more lore than this entire lore. Exactly. But we won't go into that. He's just a street performer who works 5 days out of the week and barely kind of knows the main character, Leon. We now have Artemis, an AI being developed by Serenity that Leon gets a future version of implanted into him by Eisen. The AI is able to completely link itself to its host without damaging or overriding them. It also boasts a wide array of abilities, from operating the phase link system, simultaneous calculations and subprocesses, hack systems not linked to networks, and many other functions. Artemis can also take on a tangible appearance by creating a projection of itself. It is basically a Deus Ex Machina without the bullshit. Because Artemis can't physically do anything. It can help, but it can't physically do anything. But, it's my way of giving the main character an additional boost. Because unlike everybody else, except for Hilda can't do it, but everybody else in the party can use fucking magic, except Eisen. Eisen's a human, but he doesn't really count. But so yeah, Artemis is basically gives it's Cortana but Alexa, huh? Kind of. It's Cortana but better. We have Energy Shield Technology, or EST. I don't think I'll ever go with that acronym, but I just thought of it. Technology that was created for military use, but was solely allowed for civilians. There are multiple types of shields, with the most used being the personalized shield, which creates a barrier around the host that is invisible. The barrier will show any damage it receives by storing itself on the affected area and can repair damage over time. If it receives too much damage, it will deactivate till it can recharge, which varies based on who created it. Other types of shields are deployable stationary types, mounted types that can be carried, and others that are usable in conjunction with other parts. Basically, if you can create a shield of some kind, you can probably make an energy shield for it. So, but yeah, this is just my way of saying they don't need to wear armor all the time. They just basically Halo. Just think of Halo for this one. This is literally Halo technology. That's basically what it is. You get shot, instead of getting your head blown off, you see the shield pop up, and you're like, oh, I got hit. Should probably take cover. I just didn't want to have an excuse for people like, oh, they're not wearing armor. They are wearing armor. They just don't have the other armor. We have cybernetic augmentations. Most of the augmentations are due to the fact that healing magic either didn't work or the damage was too severe to be healed by the healer at the time. Most healers are not able to heal life-threatening wounds. And by that I mean by most healers is that if the wound is too grievous, it's basically you need surgery type thing. There are very few mages that are able to heal massively life-threatening wounds. The exception would be Alicia, considering she is a magus because of her eyes. She has that ability. Let's see. And maybe Lulu. Now I'm curious if you have a bigger battery pack or able to carry extra battery pack. Well, the thing is, the shield, for the shields, it's not so much battery powered, because, you know, it's just technical timey-wimey magic stuff, but basically, oh, we skipped over energy sword. Basically, you don't really need to carry around, like, well, depending on the shield type, you probably would need to carry around some sort of battery pack or energy converter. But for the most part, it's designed kind of like a cell phone. You know, it's got a battery in there, and it works, and it charges up, and it does all that stuff. The battery itself would basically mean it could probably recharge faster rather than actually being, like, stronger. So basically, if you hooked up a battery to an energy shield, it would probably, rather, instead of making it be more effective, it could probably just repair itself faster. And if it was depleted, just probably recharge faster. Rather than it being, you know, able to take more hits. If that makes any sense. I think. I don't know. Would it make more sense to you? It kind of makes sense to me. I'm an idiot. We'll get back to cybernetic augmentations in a second. Energy sword. A very rare weapon that, while itself isn't anything remarkable, it is highly powerful, since it can be used by individuals who can't use magic. I mean, anybody can really use the weapon, but it's usually used by those who can't use magic, which are mainly humans and individuals who just aren't magically aptitude. The weapon itself is one of the few that can damage and kill nightmares, as well as pierce most metals. It's a lightsaber! The blade is comprised of mana converted through a crystal that allows it to be used in a variety of situations. Unlike most conventional weapons, it takes a lot of training to properly use. To use one, as the weapon itself weighs nothing, but the blade, once deployed, weighs enough to throw even a seasoned warrior off balance. It takes a lot of parts to keep the weapon in order, and most people don't want to deal with the hassle. In easy terms, it's a simple weapon that just takes a lot of upkeep. Just basically think of it like an iPhone. You have to replace it every month. That's basically what it is. Which is why very few people use the weapon. It's exceedingly rare for the fact that it's simple to use. Of course, one wrong misstep and you just literally slice your legs off. It's like, I have the height. Oh, my legs are gone. Type situation. But yeah, in easy terms, it's a lightsaber. It's a lightsaber that requires a lot of upkeep. Like, you can literally burn through the crystal that powers it, and parts break easily type stuff. So it's a very powerful weapon that is rarely used, but Leon uses one in conjunction with his regular sword. All right, now we have the cybernetic augmentations that we were going to earlier. So is there some small contraption on the swords? Thought it would be runes or scribe based. Like, what do you mean? Like, to make the swords magic enchanted? Or do you mean, like, for the sword, for the energy sword? Because you got to remember, this world has magic, but it also has technology. So the energy sword itself utilizes, technology, but is powered by mana, if that makes any sense. For like regular weapons, they can have inscriptions on them to like make them stronger. But there's technically no actual spell swords. Like you'll have mages who can like create a blade of magic, but there's no full on. Well, no, wait. Let me rephrase this. There are spell swords, how you were describing it, kind of like magic swords that you can put insignias and stuff on the actual blade, and it can be enchanted. There are those. There are those kinds of weapons. Those are more common than the energy sword. The energy sword is kind of like okay, let me rephrase. Let me let's go down here real quick. So you have regular sword, energy sword, and enchanted sword. These are the three types of swords. Regular swords are what you would normally see. They don't have enchantments, but they're exceedingly strong. Can still do as much damage as an enchanted sword, but doesn't have magic. Energy sword. Lightsaber with extra steps is the easiest way. And enchanted swords are swords that are imbued with magics, runes, and so forth. They have a limited number of uses because they are inscribed with magic rather than being pure magic. So they're only able to be used a certain number of times before they either need to be replaced or, re-enchanted. Leon, the main character, uses regular and energy. Enchanted swords are more military. Well, actually less military. They're more adventurers, part of the guild. So those are the three types of swords. I'm trying to make it sound very simple, and I over-explain things. Cybernetic augmentation. Let's get back to this juicy detail. Cybernetic augmentations. Most of the augmentations are due to the fact that healing magic either didn't work. Excuse me. I thought I was going to have to mega burp. Either the healing magic didn't work or the damage was too severe to be healed by the healer at the time. Most healers are not able to heal life-threatening wounds. Life-threatening wounds are described as wounds that if they don't get healed immediately, you are fucking dead. That does not mean if you get your arm cut off, you can't be healed and have your arm repaired. You can. However, if it's not done within a certain amount of time, most healing magic won't save you. You will lose that arm. You'll get the wound healed, but you won't be able to use the arm. Depending on the augmentation, it can require a simple operation, or in Leon's case, multiple surgeries and artificial body replacements. Augmentations require constant maintenance to keep them functioning. While most are minor tuning complex. I need to add an apostrophe. Complex ones need to be kept up weekly or monthly. In Leon's case, it is almost daily. So that's the basic augmentations. Basically, they're automail from Full Metal Alchemist, except in this case, you can replace actual organs and stuff. Like in Leon's case, it is basically, for Leon's case, the easiest explanation and example is my model. They've got the robotic arm, they've got the chest plate, and the leg as well. So the easiest example for Leon, for the main character, is my VTuber model, because that's what he's based on. But no, if you have a question, feel free to ask. If you've got a question about something, feel free to ask. I don't mind explaining. Again, the problem with questions and then talking is when I get to a point and I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I covered something that you probably asked a question about already and stuff like that. Have a chest plate? Yeah, Leon has his, like, his basically gut, his stomach, his, like, internal organs. Most of his internal organs are all artificial. He doesn't have any. He has his chest is like, where his boobs are, because he's part woman. Because cybernetic mid-stomach section. So basically, literally exactly like my VTuber model. His entire midsection and his, like, back were pretty much are artificial. So Leon has a lot of machinery on him for all this stuff. But now, if you have a question about the energy sword, feel free to let me know. Feel free to ask. I don't mind talking about it. Like, I try to explain. I try to write down a detailed enough explanation in the description. For maintenance and the mechanics around it, basically think of it. It's like a lightsaber. So when you activate the blade, it takes in nearby mana to deploy it. Or let me rephrase. Redirect the question to correction. It is powered by a magical gemstone. It uses that gemstone as the focus point to deploy the blade. So when the blade is activated, it deploys it through the gemstone deploys the blade, and it creates the mana from it. The gem itself can burn out because it's not some all-seeing gem like in Star Wars. So the upkeep is, keeping the emitter that powers the gem going, because that can burn out. It's basically the parts inside that keep the thing functioning can either burn out, completely fail, and, like, just constantly needing to be upkept because of the fact that it utilizes that magic gemstone to power it. So, it needs, like, an actual battery pack attached to it and stuff like that. It's the parts and pieces are all very unique in the fact that, again, it's an exceedingly powerful weapon that utilizes a magic crystal to literally turn the magic into a blade. Since that's the only real use for magic crystals in this version of the story. But yeah, each magic crystal changes the blade's color, so it utilizes the mana in the crystal to create the blade, so the blade will be different colors. Usually the most common colors are blue and red. So those are the ones you'll find. Leon's blade is usually always red because that's the ones he usually finds and he's got a backlog of in his apartment or, in his stash. But yeah, so that's the basic premise of the sword, if that answers your question. I don't really know how else to explain it. Yeah, it doesn't utilize the mana from any individual because, again, it's made for people who can't use magic. That is pretty much it. That's pretty much about it. It's pretty much just a blade made of mana that looks really cool. And of course, you know, the augmentations just it's full it's auto mail with extra steps. So yeah. And of course we have a few other things like magic staves. Most magic users use staves to cast magic, and while the staff itself is normally not magic, it is used as a catalyst to cast their spells. A staff is mostly just an instrument to help mages cast their spells, as they channel magic through them, but more advanced mages don't even need to use them. Some mages have their staffs imbued with spells using sigils or magic-imbued writing. So basically, staves themselves aren't particularly necessary for mages in the story, but it's used as like a concentration tool where they channel the spell through it to cast it. Like, you know, basically kind of like fireball with your finger, but instead of your finger, it's with the staff. So that way you don't ignite your entire finger and hand on fire and kill yourself. Because magic is dangerous. In any world, magic is dangerous. They just don't make it dangerous, which they should. So yeah, magic staves are mainly just chunks of wood or whatever material they're made from, and they're mainly used as a lightning rod. They're basically used to conduct the spell so that the user can cast it. That one really depends on the person who did it. Because, you know, again, it's different stages of work. But basically think of it, magic stabs. Augmentations, you can basically think of like different forms. Leon's versions would be nerve connections where he's got actual, you know, wires attached to his nerves, along with, you know, probably, I don't really know the specifics, but, you know, again, it's more or less dependent upon the individual who built the functions. And it just would also depend on the actual severity of the wound. Like, for the most part, the most complex part for Leon would be his gut, because of the constant fact that most of his organs are artificial. And again, I can't really go into super specifics because even I don't really understand it. Because I didn't really think that far through. But just basically think of it, you know, mechanical, depending on the extent of it and the severity of the wounds would probably depend on the actual needed augmentation. And we also have the last part, Eyes of the Magus. Special eyes that are said to be linked to the god of magic in themselves, the Magus. Individuals who possess the eyes are able to use many different kinds of magic and have a very large, near infinite mana pool. It is also said that they can use certain spells that no one else can use. The Heaven's Hammer, Hollow Void, True Resurrection, Hellflame / Black Fire. There's probably more, but those are the ones I thought of. Of course. Leon's... It is a bit different for Leon. Because while he does suffer from phantom pain, because that's like a normal reaction of losing your freaking arm, You know, any limb you would lose, you're going to have phantom pain. While he still does feel with the hand that he has now, he still does get that sensation of having, like, you know, phantom, like it, like he'll touch something, but he'll be like, that's a door. But then he'll also be like, I can't feel the door even though I'm touching it. But again, also for him, because he doesn't remember a lot of his past, it's like another extra layer where it's like, it's a door. I can't feel the door. Why the fuck is my arm gone? Type situation. Let's put him into an arms unit. Ah, you're funny. But yeah, that's those are the eyes of the Magus. Basically, that's, you know, the link to the celestial realm type situation for Alicia. She's the only one that has the eyes of the Magus. For Hilda as well, she has an artificial right hand, but hers is more so like pure robotic. It's basically like a Swiss Army hand. So it's got, like, you know, all those parts that can switch out and, you know, basically Inspector Gadget, but without the Inspector Gadget. So those are the additional stuff that I thought of for it. There wasn't much. Oh, I did find some other things that I forgot to add. I got some extra details for the nightmares. For all of the nightmares, we have some other details that I added in as well. So we have the nightmares. Creatures that appear from the mist that seem to have a single function, and that is to eat. They have a range of forms and sizes, but most are quite large and must be dealt with by an arms. No, I did not add the nightmare dust. The only dust is when they disappear, and that's just, like, gone. There's no actual dust. We have Nightmare Kaiju. The largest form of a nightmare that requires an arms to combat it. They normally spawn in the ocean or near the shore since they are so large. Rarely do they ever spawn from the mist when it has reached inland, but they are able to. Basically, kaiju are basically giant nightmares. They literally either spawn while they're in the ocean, on the shore, or not fully inland. Usually they stop spawning when the mist itself is, like, really deep into the land. We have nightmare parasites, an offshoot species of nightmares that are able to infect humans and control their body. Once fully infected, they are able to exist outside of the mist and have a higher level of thinking. I forgot to add this. Depending on the infection level, they are normally easy to spot. So yeah, nightmare parasites, they literally infect people, individuals, take control over them, and then if they're fully able to, they can actually live outside. Not even fully. They can live outside the mist once they infect the host. Excuse me. Once they have fully connected to the host, they can walk outside the mist. It doesn't matter the infection level, as long as they have fully linked to the host, they can walk outside. Nightmare Commanders. I did these in a spurt of thinking, so the naming conventions are not very good. A nightmare capable of speech and communication, and are usually seen ordering around other nightmares. They are slightly smaller than regular nightmares, and are nightmares that have fully evolved from their human hosts. They are basically completely taken over the human from their hosts. I should probably just put hosts, because they don't only affect humans, they affect everybody. But, you know. And it's from, not form. I'm stupid. Parasites! And nightmare omens. The highest recorded nightmare that almost completely resembles its host with little to no mutations present. They are much stronger, have higher intelligence, can speak, and are able to get stronger by devouring other species, even their own kind. Where records exist, only a few sightings are actually recorded from contact. They are basically the epitome of apex predator because they can transform. They have their nightmare state and their, you know, host state. And even their host state is terrifying. So, those are the different forms of nightmares. And there are, you know, basic nightmares that are just like small infantry nightmares that'll attack people. But these are the main types. So those are the ones that were also added. Whew. And of course we did the species last time. Monster Stampede? I want to say there has, but again, since nightmares can only exist inside of the mist, they don't really have a chance to like storm buildings and stuff. Because even the parasites, well, there are a lot of them. It takes a while for them to actually be effective. These will come into play massively later on in the story for a specific arc I have in mind. So while, yeah, there would be like a rampage or a stampede, it wouldn't so much be very common outside of the mist. Because again, nightmares spawn from the mist that randomly spawns in the world. And once they exit out of the mist, if they're not in a host, like with a parasite, they pretty much just instantly die because they can't survive outside. So we have the species with the different types of races. We have the location. We have 2 minor characters right now. We have our main characters with a bit of background for the main. I'm going to put these in order of how they appear. So Leon will appear first, along with Fasha, since they both live together, since she's his adopted pet / lycanthrope. Hilda will, of course, appear after that when they go to their job and start working. And then Alicia will appear. So before we start Chapter 1, we're going to work on... And we're going to bring this above Chapter 1. And this will be Chapter 1 layout. We're going to lay out how Chapter 1 is going to progress. In essence, yes, there has been cases where, you know, multiple mists were detected, or, you know, a large mist concentration. And oddly enough, there will be a point in the story where that theory is proven to be very correct. And that theory proves to be something that can happen and does result in massive casualties. It will play a part later in the story. A couple chapters in, probably, after we get most of the group, you know, introduced. So yeah, chapter 1 layout, just going to be a layout for the chapter. So it'll start with the introduction of Leon and Fasha. Daily life and routine. Basically, the introduction of Leon and Fasha. What they usually do in the morning when they first wake up to when they get to Hilda's place, which is basically her workshop. Donut shop stop, where they go to get the donuts. You know, it's part of their daily life, so that's what they got to do. Hilda's workshop. Once they go to the donut shop, they go to Hilda's workshop, which is where the most of the chapter will take place. Well, not most, but you know, a small chunk. Guild work. Starting is Leon's daily job of working for the guild. You know, assisting people, helping people. Yes, the donut shop has lore. It's a very good donut shop that Leon likes to go to in the morning. To grab donuts. Because he likes donuts and chocolate milk. He meets Alicia. Actually, no. Meets Alicia. Chapter 1 won't be too long. Again, I don't know. I'm not a super good storyteller, so I can't do like 30 pages for chapters. So, I don't know how long chapter 1 will be. The save point of the game is actually at the donut shop. You don't save in your bed, you go to the donut shop and save at the donut stand. I miss old school save screens and save systems in old games. They were so unique back then. Not military counter. Meet Alicia. Assisting Alicia. Nightmare outbreak. Rescue Alicia. Chapter climax / conclusion. So these are the steps that I'm going to try to take for the story in chapter 1. Again, I'm going to kind of work it kind of like an anime episode is the easiest way for me to think of it. This may change, of course, as we go through it, because we're not going to get chapter 1 done today. That's just not possible for me to do because I'm terrible. I think the funniest one I saw was either The Evil Within or Resident Evil, where the save and heal point was a coffee brew machine. That was probably the Evil Within, because I don't remember having a coffee brew machine as Resident Evil. Which still is hilarious. I love the ones where they get creative like that, where it's like a coffee machine, or I think Silent Hill had a red square that you would go up to and save. I really wish they would bring those back. Like, you could save manually like you can nowadays, or you can go up to like a save point and save, you know, something stupid. Like, I went to a coffee machine. Save. Or kind of like how in, technically in Stellar Blade, the save point was you sitting down at the chair. So that was nice. You know, Demon Souls and stuff with the bonfire. You know, stuff like that would be cool. Alright, so we have the layout of Chapter 1, which is, you know, the introduction, the steps to it, and everything else. Again, Chapter 1's basically going to be introducing the 4 main characters of the story. Kind of like how in, you know, Harry Potter, the first book was introducing the main characters, getting them together. So Chapter 1 basically would introduce the main characters between Leon, Fasha, Hilda, and Alicia, which will be the main group for most of this for the first couple of chapters before we introduce everybody else. And of course, this may also take multiple. This will also be multiple books. It's not one book. Mainly because I don't think I can fit everything in one book right now. I haven't fully worked out everything. So yeah. So this is what we're going to try to shoot for the layout of Chapter 1. This will, of course, change as we progress and go for... I'm going to rename this to just Chapter Layout, because we'll use this for all the chapters. But I will put Chapter 1. Will you dwell on the character and environment surrounding them, or just the character and then start the world building? What do you mean by that? I'm actually confused by what you mean. I think I'm overthinking it. I'm also tired. My brain is not meant to think this hard. Are you talking about like if I'm going to start with the character and then build on this, on the settings for the character? Or just the character and then start the world building? I'm actually very confused. I am probably overthinking this way too much. Will you dwell on the character and the environment surrounding them, or just the character, and then start the world building? I guess my easiest explanation will be we world build as the character progresses. I don't know if that makes any sense. Basically, it's either character plus background and setting, or character and later introduce the world. Oh. It's hard to explain. I'm guessing it's character, background, and setting. The world itself will be expanded on as they go through, because we can't do it all at once, because that would be ridiculously stupid. And probably way too much in my head. So let's see. Let's see if we can start this bad boy. Let's see if we can start this bad boy, because this is where it gets difficult for me. This is where it gets to the point where I'm just like, I don't need you, random McDonald's straw that I still have that I will one day use. You go over there. So let's see. Starting the story. How are we going to start this bad boy? Because I did not think that part through. Actually, yeah, let's just chapter 1 layout. Because this is chapter 1 and that's all contained in it. The example I can give is Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. Lord of the Rings explore the character and build the world, which Harry Potter introduces us to the character and slowly introduces us to Hogwarts. Oh, I guess it would be more towards Harry Potter than anything. I mean, there's not much to the world aside from the fact that it's just fucked up. I was dreaming. Like all dreams I've had before, it was a simple one. I was on the beach, watching the waves, staring at a setting sun. With some music in the background. However, like all good dreams, they come to an end. And you can feel the force of a wet object upon wet object being brushed against your face. Fasha! Fasha, stop licking me, I'm awake! Imagine coming into the world being isekai and the first sign you encounter writes, "You effed up." Isn't that most isekais? I slowly open my eyes and greeted by a large, furry, and fuzzy object in my view until my eyes gain proper focus. I blink a few more times. Till Fasha comes into complete view. And I see my very tall grayish, my very tall gray direwolf standing beside my bed. Again, Fasha is like 7 foot tall in her wolf form. So just imagine it up to waking up to a 7 foot tall direwolf next to your bed, looking at your face. She ain't got to do much. Sure, but don't you find it mess up since it's written in a language that you understand and knows that it's the first thing you would see? If I'd see that, I would ask the goddess for a reset. I don't know. I think having that kind of, I think having that, can you floof her? Are you talking about, is he gonna fuck her? No, he sees her as a daughter. That and she's in her wolf form 90% of the time. I reach out my left hand to give her a gentle pet. Gentle scratch. To give her a gentle pet on her snout. She gives me a few, nuzzles her ooh. She gives me a few licks. Before she snaps her jaw on my arm and drags me out of my very comfortable bed. Darn it, Fasha. I was really enjoying that dream. Also, I told you not to eat my hand. And we're going to make Hilda mad if she has to keep fixing the damages. Introducing that the character's hand isn't normal by introducing a fact that you're going to see later. Without explicitly stating I have a robotic arm. Because I hate when shows do that. Fasha gives me a sad look and tucks her tail between her legs. before she resets to her happy face. As she walks into the kitchen. She does this knowing that I can't stay mad at her. Yeah, because she wants food. All right, Fasha. Give me a few minutes so I can get dressed, and I will You know you can pour the food. You know you can get the food yourself. I don't need to pour it. I don't need to fill the bowl. When you have hands. Yubi, it's her breakfast. Deal with it. Of course. You'd have to change in order to do that. I hear a gentle, not howl, gentle bark. From the kitchen, as if she had just told me to hurry up. Completely ignoring my words. Spend the next... So I spend a bit of time getting myself dressed. Putting on some decent clothes. So the neighbor's kid doesn't get scarred. Since the window that's scared, isn't it? Put on some decent clothes so they don't scare the neighbor's kid again. Not my fault. But IRL for a second. No. Oh, that would be hilarious. Don't scare the neighbor's kid again. Walk out, just dangles low. After finding a pair of clothes, I make my way to the kitchen, which is only right outside my room. I see Fasha patiently sitting my mind works too fast. Because there was a kid, it'd be something else, I'm scared. I like my VTuber a bit cray cray. I see Fasha patiently sitting next to her food and water bowls. Slowly looking over to the open bag of food she clearly already ate from. Again, she's a lycanthrope. She can turn into a human if she wants to. She just likes her dog form. So she knows what she's doing. I said crazy, not a singer. She just likes her dog form more. She feels more at home. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I grab her food bowl and take a large scoop of food. And use it to scoop food from the very large bag. Place it on the table next to me. She wags her tail. Darts to her spot. Begins to let out a couple of whines. Is it spelled wines like wines? I get confused on that one. Couple of whimpers. How do you spell? Is that how you spell whimper? Oh, whimpers with an H. Your pillow's doing, I don't know, you can't see them right now. It's doing good. We're actually starting chapter 1 of the story. I'm not very good at this, so this probably looks like gibberish. But, hey, we're starting it. And I'm tired of not starting stuff, so we're going to be doing that. Oh, of course it is. We're like 3 paragraphs in. I don't know what you would have won out of that. She wags her tail and darts to her spot and begins to let a couple of whimpers. Been pillow denied. No pillows for you. I motion to her that she can eat, but refuses to do so. Most likely until I grab my own food. Most likely until I sit down with my own food. I always do that. My mind moves too fast for my fingers. After a few moments of deciding to either eat wheat flakes Alright, we'll go enjoy your Warframe. Wheat flakes. Wheat flakes. Or everything O's. After a few minutes of deciding to eat either wheat flakes or everything O's, I decide on the flakes. Take a seat at the table. The moment I sit down, Fasha wastes no time in chowing down on her food before I can get a few bites down. She is done. And sleeping on the floor next to my feet. Well, now that you are asleep, and finally turn on the news. But I know that won't last long. Again, it's supposed to be their daily life. Kind of what they would do every day in this situation, so for the start of the chapter, we can't like have it. Well, I mean, we could, but that wouldn't do much for me because I really don't want to introduce the character. And as a simple way for expositional dialogue to be done. With Fasha now taking her short rest, I turn on the TV. No, we're going to spell television. I turn on the television, flip to the news. And flip to the guild's emergency. The guild news network. It takes a few minutes to get to the... I'm gonna do this so bad. Announcements. I did it. They finally cover what I had been waiting to hear. We expect we have a military envoy arriving today for joint military training. Means supervised. I spelled that wrong. I still spelled it wrong. Alternating means supervised. My commander. I cannot spell today. My commander Lincoln. Defense Force. We also have detections that a mist may occur in the outer rim. But the location has not been determined. So please use caution. Please use caution when caution today. In other news, I cut the television off. Moments before continued. Announce. Damn it. Well, continued announcements. As I could feel fascia starting to stir. which meant it was time to fully get ready for work. Ow, that hurt. Ugh. I headed back into my room. Found my normal clothes. And like always, took way too long to put them on. I could hear Fasha walking around near the front door. Near the front, the door. Like she usually does. All right. Time to get moving. Grabbed my things and my keys. And we left. Left to our first stop of the day. And our favorite stop. Favorite stop. Barbara's Donut Shop. Like something was in my glasses. Water. I think I burnt my tongue the other day because it feels like my mouth is dry still. Because I had leftover pizza yesterday, and I think I may have eaten it too soon. Ugh. Stretch. Ugh. Not your mouth being dry. It's always dry. It's like the Sahara Desert in there. Especially when I'm talking. Thankfully, it's not as bad as the one time I burnt my tongue somehow. I don't know how I did this one, but I burnt my tongue right on the tip. Like right on the tip of your tongue. It was so bad as it was trying to heal that no matter what, I always felt like I had dry mouth. So no matter how much water I drank, because it was so dry, it was dry and healing. It always felt like I had dry mouth. I drank so much water. I had to go to the bathroom so often. Me every morning I'll wake up with cotton mouth. Oh. We are writing a science fiction, basically, sci-fi story. We are still in the early stages as we just started chapter 1. After, I don't know how many streams of finally getting to it. But it's science fiction with magic and technology. With all sorts of different type of... It's mainly an anime-ish style of world building, because I'm more into anime. So, you know, our main character is a male who looks like a woman. They're 4'11", so they're short as hell. We have a lycanthrope female who could transform from her wolf form to human form, who likes to stay as a wolf form, and who's like 7 feet tall in her wolf form. We have a goblin mechanic who has a robotic, you know, Swiss Army hand. We got our fox female heroine / female lead who's a magician, or a mage, not magician. We got our red elf twins that'll come later on in the story. We have our bunny girl scientist. And then we have the strange Eisen Faust, who I somehow made to almost be identical to Eisen from Bleach, and I didn't realize that until like the last time I streamed this story building. Because I forgot that Eisen from Bleach had brown hair. Yeah, Wolf Girl, she mainly stays in her wolf form just because in the lore for this one, for my story, lycanthropes are usually hunted down for, like, you know, to be collected rather than, you know, treated as like people. So yeah, we have the species tab, which is a very rare species that has the ability to transform from human to wolf. They are normally found in the wild, and most are hunted for sport or taken in by collectors. Since they are most always in the wild and prefer to stay in their wolf form, it is very rare to ever actually find a real lycanthrope. Most lycanthropes have a normal size and an average wolf, and very few ever reach the size that Fasha is. Yeah, Fasha is one of the larger wolves. She's freaking 7 feet tall. That's if she's standing on all fours, so she's huge. But yeah, she's our loyal wolf of the story. And yeah, she's already thrown her character out of bed by biting their arm off. Not literally. Their arm's robotic, so they have a robotic arm. Oh, she's 7 foot. I kind of would like to be taller, but I don't think I want to be 7 feet tall. That would be too much. That would be way too much for me. I don't think I could handle 7 feet. You're only 6'8". How's that an unfortunate circumstance? I'm only like... I don't know. I actually don't know my height. I'm going to shrink soon. Oh, which reminds me, I should probably let you guys know what's going to be happening in the future before I forget. I have a surprise for everybody. I've got a surprise for everybody, for regulars and new people. In the future, I've been talking about this. I'm going to be switching my lore. So things are going to be changing in the lore. And I'm going to be condensing the 7 different forms that I have now, because 7 personas is very tiring to try to maintain when you don't have money. So I'm going to be focusing solely on one form, and this will be the form going forward. I'm going to be a goblin kitsune. So yes, going forward, starting next month, no, not next month, next year, I'm going to be working with an artist to, I'm already working with them, but they're not going to be able to work on my stuff until around May. So, I'll be a Goblin Kitsune. Because I have my original Kitsune form. Let me grab that picture so I can show you guys. Straight go to Shrek. So originally this was the original design for it. This was going to be the original thing that I was going to focus on. So again, the only thing that's changed is now I'm a thick short stack goblin who's got some pudge on her, because I wanted to kind of reflect this form to be my real form. You know, my IRL self a little bit. Of course, my real IRL self isn't a 3-foot short stack goblin. But, you know, I wanted the... I really like goblins. I'm not going to die. They're breedable. The artist for these, for both pictures, is... Let me zoom in. We'll get a closer look at everything, too. The artist that I always commission is, for all my stuff, is Sketch Lanza. You can find them on Twitter. They're on Blue Sky. They have a Patreon. They're the ones that I always commission for most of my artwork, because I can commission them at random times, and they're like, yeah, go ahead. So yeah, look at that face. Yeah, originally, because they had sent me 2 different versions. The first version I love, but there were a few things that needed to be changed on it. But yeah, you got those giant goblin melons. And of course we have the back view. Which again, it's basically the exact same Kitsune form. It's just, you know, goblinified. And of course we have the face right there, which is just the giant goblin ears. We need those. But they originally sent me this version because they misunderstood what I was talking about when I first sent them the sketch. They sent me the wrong hair color, but I like that hair color. Yeah, they just sent the wrong hair color, and the braid was missing right here. The left braid was missing. They had it down here, but they didn't have it connecting to the thing. But then they had it on the back view, so they just missed it. So I had them correct that part. Need bigger. I'm 3 feet tall in this form. How big do you want them? I wouldn't be able to walk. Yeah, this is what I'll be going for going forward. Oh wow, did I actually overlay that almost completely perfectly? Almost. But yeah, so in the future, I will become a Goblin Kitsune. These forms are not going away permanently. I will still use them if you guys request them. But for the most part, going forward, Goblin Kitsune Setsuna Fox will be the main focus, instead of Instead of all the 7 different forms, I'm focusing on the one. And I mentioned this before, and I think it'll be good to start really focusing on one thing instead of trying to be whatever I was before. And I don't have any problem with it. I'm going to work it into my lore, because my lore is a celestial creation. I ate a ball of light and can do whatever the fuck I want. So yeah, I just wanted to show that. I'm going to post it to Blue Sky so you guys can see it. All right. Let's get back to the story, because that's what we got to do. That's what I want to do. But we already wrote 670 words, which is 670 words more than I thought we were going to get done today. So I see that as an actual absolute win. Insert Hulk meme here. Let me save real quick. We'll keep going for a little bit longer. Because again, we've got 670 more words than I thought we're going to get done today. I grabbed my things, my keys, and we left to our first stop of the day. And our favorite stop, Barbara's Donut Shop. That rhymes. And grabbed my things and my keys, and we left to our first stop of the day. And our favorite stop, Barbara's Donut Shop. That God fucking rhymes. God damn it. That actually does rhyme. Not perfectly. Our favorite stop, Barbara's Donut Shop. It's the stop and shop part. That's what rhymes. Let's hope. I'm gonna have to Google this shit because it gets me confused. I like how if I type in hop, it... Okay, so it is hop with no A and with no E. E is hope. I hop on Fasha's back and she wastes no time in bolting down the road toward the donut shop. Just she can get her favorite treat. I always do that. I always do that. Stop doing that, button presses! I'm fine. I'm fine. It's perfectly fine. There's nothing to be wronged. She can get her favorite treat. You pass by the usual places. An empty shopping mall. Leon would unconsciously would chime his favorite donut shop. The owner didn't realize that Leon had brainwashed 50% of the townspeople to buy more donuts. Fully staffed office complex. one of the local schools. We pass the usual places, an empty shopping mall. An empty shopping. An empty shopping what? Exactly. An empty shopping mall, fully staffed office complex. A local school. Well, a school. Oh, hold on. An elementary. I can't spell. An elementary school. And guild outpost. And finally, arrive at our destination. Woof. All right. I cannot press buttons today. All right, all right. You know the drill. Wait here while I get our orders. I actually hear Fasha speak. It's Wolf. Ruff. And grab my bag. Walk into the empty yet fine smelling donut shop. And like always, I hear a gentle and kind good morning. And from behind the counter. I see Mrs. All right. Standing at the counter. Their uniform covered in flour. Sprinkles. And what looks to be egg. I see Mrs. Wright standing at the counter with her uniform covered in flour, sprinkles, and what looks to be egg. As she smiles, patiently waits for me to reach the counter. Morning, Leon. You getting a regular order today? Asked Mrs. Wright with a bright smile. Of course. And I guess Hilda already passed by. Hilda already came in. She did. Like always. Like clockwork. She came in 22 minutes after we opened and ordered her... What did I have her drink? Black coffee, thank God. I'm not stupid, you guys. I remembered what one of my characters likes to drink. Usual. Extra large black coffee. And got the donuts. And pre-ordered the donuts ahead, like usual. Like normal. The normal batch of 12 Hold on, I can do this. Cinnamon. Damn it. Damn it. Okay. Cinnamo. Ah, that's why. It was an O. The normal batch of 12 cinnamon glazed donuts. 12 regular chocolate donuts. $24 regular, no glaze, no icing donuts. Oh, donuts. That's why. $24 regular, no glaze, no icing donuts. And a bag full of donut holes. Well, we have an ad break on Twitch, everybody. So stretch, get your hands up in your air. Said Mrs. Wright, reciting the order. Without even batting an eye. Would stand to reason that she would know our order by heart, since we come by every morning. They're open. We have been doing it for over... Oh, they are? You're getting ads on YouTube? Okay, I gotta ask, how does YouTube handle ads for live streams? Because I didn't realize... Again, I have YouTube Premium because I mainly work when I'm at work. I don't want to have a 30-minute ad pop up when I'm watching a video. So I don't know how they handle ads for like live streams and stuff. Because my thought was that they didn't have ads on live streams unless like the start. So yeah, I don't know how YouTube handles the ads. Because I don't really ever get ads because I fucking hate having to wait for stupid ads. We have been doing it. Ah, my nose. For over 6 years. Okay, I'm probably going to need to spell these out instead of numbers. "22 minutes. $12. Sorry, got a phone call. It was nothing. No idea. The ads are kind of random at times. Usually it's on when you at the mid or end of video. Now it's plastered like 8 times at rent. Really? God damn. I wish I had monetization on YouTube so you could probably subscribe or membership or pay for YouTube Premium, and I think I get a cut for whenever you watch videos. All right, so we have... She did like clockwork. She came in 22 minutes after we opened and ordered her usual extra large black coffee. And the order of donuts like normal. She did like clockwork. She came in 22 minutes after we opened and ordered her usual extra large black coffee. And the order of donuts ahead like normal. The normal batch of 12 cinnamon glazed donuts, 12 regular chocolate donuts, regular no icing, no glaze, no icing donuts, and a bag full of donut holes. They come here a lot. We have been doing it for over 6 years. So it makes sense that our order would be easy to remember. Here is the extra coffee that she is going to ask for. Because you're late, and your coffee will be cold. Getting EP, so I guess this is where I sign off. Thank you for the stream. Well, thank you for dropping by. Again, we've done 952 more words than I thought we were going to do today. So we're going to go till probably around 12, and that's what we're probably going to call it. So we're getting about 20, 30 more minutes before we call it ourselves. Because writing, while fun, is tiresome. And again, I knew we weren't going to get through... all of this, but we're getting there. We've already got the introduction. We got most of the donut shop. Can't have a cup of coffee that keeps hot. No, that would take away from the routine. Later, tomorrow. Get some sleep. Enjoy your rest. I'll be here for a little bit longer. Said Mrs. Wright, handing me a very large cup. Of black coffee. It did not take long after I arrived to receive the order. That came in a very special box. To ensure everything stayed safe during the transport. I thank Mrs. Wright. And left the shop. To see Fasha already in position. To continue to the workshop. Once I was on and everything was secured, including the very large and very hot cup of coffee. Fascia bolted down the street. Let's save real quick. Saving real quick. Saving real quick. Okay. Sorry, I was checking something. Okay. Let's see. Like normal, we pass by some buildings dotting the landscape. And the occasional traffic light on our way Hilda's workshop. But like always, it is quiet and empty this far from the wall. We get to hear the first new follow announcement. Thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
It's all coming together.
All right, fine. I will hydrate. Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, that's what it was. I don't know why it has that double audio still. I still need to figure that out. What are we writing? We're writing a science fiction with magic and science fiction magic. Our main protagonist is a guy who is basically a woman. It's explained in lore. Don't worry about it. We have our trusty lycanthrope wolf girl, our goblin mechanic, our fox girl heroine, our red elf female supporters, our bunny girl scientist, and our evil / not evil antagonist. And right now, we're on chapter 1. We're doing a little bit of the story. And we are working through getting to Hilda's workshop. We'll try to get to Hilda's workshop, and then we'll probably call it on the work. Because I've done 1,067 words, and that's 1,067 words I didn't think I was going to write today. So I think we made progress. Hilda's workshop, but like always, it is quiet and empty this far from the wall. Okay. Fascia, let's out. A large bark. Telling me we are close. Begins to slow down. Within a few minutes, we are outside the shop. You can hear the sound machinery going. I started writing myself, but only did 2-page. I'm still pretty much an amateur. I haven't written anything like big. I used to write a lot when I was younger in like my last year of high school because I used to write a lot through middle school and high school. But I stopped writing for a long while and haven't really dived into writing until recently, and I've only just now recently started to get back into it. This is the most I've written in a long while. So the most I can say is just try to structure your not sentences. Try to structure your work. Kind of like give like a brief outline of what you want to do for your chapter or your book or whatever. Or your, whatever you're trying to do. Just try to structure it so you have some sort of guide. Kind of like a storyboard. So just do what you can and then go from there. And of course, you can always go back and fix things when you write it. Like for me, for the characters, I try to put as little information as possible. Not so that there's not... So I can kind of flesh them out as the story progresses. So that when I really need to, like, introduce something, I don't have to feel constrained to anything specific. Like, they'd have some things, but most everything is kind of left open. So that there's nothing major preventing anything from happening. And of course, you can always change it as you go through. There's no need to stick with something. But of course, like anything else, if you're doing fiction, of course, try to stick within the bounds that you have written your world to be. Like, for me, my bound is kind of limitless, but I can't have human characters using magic because humans can't use magic in this world, while all the other races can. So again, just, try to keep it basic and then go from there. That's all you can really do. No problem. I know I'm still pretty much new myself. Not within. It's within. I am dumb. Why do I keep adding G's to stuff? I add letters to things that don't need letters. In a few minutes, we were outside the shop and hear the sound of machinery going. Along with... I will get this right. Numerous other tools. I hop off Fascia. And grab a large box of donuts. And we both walk into the garage. Where I am very loud, yet courteous. Courteous. I spelled it right. I am a god. The simple victories. By very loud yet courteous. You are late. Like always. Alright, I think that's a good amount today. That is a good amount of story today. That's 1,139 words more than I thought I was going to write today. I think we've done a decent amount for the start. Again, this is very slow. We haven't really gotten into anything amazing. We haven't really gotten anything too deep yet. We're still introducing most of the characters, most of the world. We've had a few things be mentioned. Again, it's still a small start, but it's a small start that I'm glad I took today. Because I really wanted to do some story stuff. Originally, I was going to do some Infinity Nikke, but... Excuse me. I am glad we went with the story creation today and actually started on chapter 1. We actually made progress. I didn't chicken out like last time. We actually got stuff written down. We even added in 2 minor characters. Barbara Wright, the donut shop owner that Leon and Hilda get donuts from with their coffee in the morning. And George E. Mend, a street dancer usually found nearby the donut shop. So we did it. We did a good amount of stuff. I wasn't expecting to write. I wasn't expecting to really get the groove on for this writing stream today. And again, it is slow going. It's not the most amazing story, considering most of it doesn't really make sense. But again, I don't care. I'm enjoying it. I had fun today. That's all that matters. That is all that matters when you are creating something. Is if you had fun, if you enjoyed it. You can worry about the technical stuff later. I'm tired. Now that I'm done, let me save one more time. Because I am dumb. I am dumb. Yeah. So that was chapter 1, part 1 of our story of Eternal Songstress. We've started chapter 1, and I feel very accomplished for what we have written down. Again, it isn't much. Maybe a page and a half, maybe 2 pages. But that still is a page and a half or 2 pages more than I thought we were going to write. So, take the victories. Take the fact that I finally took that step to start writing my story. To stop constantly changing up characters, which we had gone through a lot of. A lot of different versions. If you're on YouTube, you can check out the different versions in the playlist. And you can see how many times I restart my story. And you'll be like, but it sounded so good last time. And yeah, to some it did. To me, I overthink things. But yeah, we did good. We got some good start. And I'm happy. Exactly. It may not seem like much, but it's a lot of work for me. And again, I'll get the groove of my storytelling. I'll get the groove. In the meantime, we're going to switch over to just chatting for a little bit. Because I want to chat. I want to chat. I want to chat. Just for a little bit, not too long. Not too long. Now, for those on Twitch, I added some new redeems. So if you guys wanted to test those out, they're a different color than the rest of my redeems. So you are free to test those out. But yeah, we made progress on the story. We got 1,000, almost 1,200 words in today, which, again, is 1,200 words more than I thought we were going to get done. So I feel very accomplished. I feel very accomplished today. I feel like I actually accomplished something today, which is something that doesn't happen very often. For me. It doesn't really happen very often for me, but it is what it is. That is the wrong thing. I am dumb. I am dumb today. That is the wrong thing. There we go. I don't really know. Why do I have my gun? See, you guys can trigger my hotkeys for my VTuber. Not all of them, just a few of them, because they are not confusing to use. Yeah, you guys can make me draw my gun. Unfortunately, that's just a sound effect. Wait, you didn't hear anything? Really? You didn't hear the sound effect at all. What the fuck? Oh, shit. I think I just realized that I had turned off my desktop audio this entire stream. That may be why. I had turned it off for when I started the stream because it was on the starting soon screen. Thankfully, nobody redeemed anything that required sound effects until just now. Ah, there's no such thing as wasted points when you have me.
I got this new anime.
Here we go.
Basically, there's this high school girl, except she's got huge boobs. I mean, some serious hunkers. A real setup of dunkers. Packing some Doban hunkeros. Massive da hunka bankaloos. Big old Tanahangera cougars. What happens next? Transfer student shows up one day with even bigger Bankhanaga hooks. Humongous hungalamga no no logang.
I don't know why it cut out at the end. That makes no sense. Don't worry. We have gun. We have my gun that we can keep out. Where did this voice come from? Oh. We have gun, and then we also have sword. I got a sword. I got a sword. Get the sauce, the sound alert. I just typed in huge badonkers. It's just called huge badonkers. I have no idea where it comes from. It's on the Twitch. It's on the Twitch sound alerts. You can probably just type in huge badonkers on YouTube and it will probably bring you to the right one, hopefully. Also, I just now realized that we have an ad break right now. I need to pay attention to when my ads start, but I don't because I'm stupid. Alright, the ad break should be over. But yes, I don't know where that sound effect comes from. I just typed in huge badonkers and it came through. So you could probably YouTube it and hopefully it'll give you the right one. The only weapon I see has 2 nukes big as my head. Oh. But I also have the ability to switch my sword into an energy sword that has an effect. And then, of course, I can mask up. And activate the mask or keep it above my head. They'll never know that it was me that robbed the convenience store down the street. You can't prove it. It's not like I have any identifying features. It's not like I have any identifying features that you can prove. You can't prove anything. But no, so yeah, we did some story work today, which was a lot of work. We did a lot of stuff. We got 1,200 words written down for the story, which again, I wasn't expecting to do. And I'm happy today. And for those who missed it, for those who missed the announcement, I will let you guys see it here right now. In the future, starting next year, I'm going to be slowly transitioning to a different model, which will be a Goblin Kitsune. Goblin Kitsune Setsuna Fox will be in the future. This will be the main form going forward. For those curious, this will be the main form. I'm going to be condensing the personas into one. I'm not getting rid of these. There will still be the 7 sins of Setsuna Fox. The 7 sins of creation. But focusing forward is going to be Goblin Kitsune Setsuna Fox. So that's going to be the main focus. I've already got an artist that I'm working with for the model for next year. It won't start until May, so you have a couple of months with this model until that model gets started to work on and gets done with. But in the meantime, I'm going to start preparing for that model with new emotes and stuff like that. What WTF is this? This is Goblin Kitsune Setsuna Fox. This is going to be what I'm going to be in the future. I'm going to condense my personas to 1 instead of the 7 forms. Again, I'm not abandoning my lore. My lore is still there. I will still be 7 different people that are all the exact same person, but not the same person, even though they are the same person. But instead, short stack, 3 foot tall, chubby goblin Kitsune will be the future. And if you don't like it, you can suck it. I'm excited. I'm very excited. I am very, very excited for this in the future, because I've always wanted to be a goblin, but I didn't want to add a new form, and I wanted to be a kitsune, so I thought Goblin Kitsune. It's pretty smexy. It's pretty smexy. So yeah, 3 foot tall goblin Kitsune girl. Nothing can go wrong with this design. I have problems. So yeah, going forward, starting next year, the project starts in around May, supposedly, depending on the artist. It'll start around May. I was supposed to be Goblin Slayer. I don't think you can slay this goblin. Not Goblin Lair. Well, as I say, Goblin Slayer, you're slaying them. But you may be in a different way this time. So yeah, I'm actually really excited about this. I'm working with an artist for a model for it, and I've already sent them the payment, so they're going to be starting on it soon as they practice some new things for it. Because they've never worked on this type of character before. Never a short character before. With my blazing Excalibur in my pants. It's in my pants. But yes, this is going to be me going forward. I have plans to get all the outfits and stuff converted for this character and model. I don't know if I'm going to get this outfit, because while I do love this outfit, it ties it all together with the chest piece, which would look weird on the Goblin model, mainly because she's chubby. And the Goblin is a 3-foot short stack that's a bit chubby. So it would be weird to have this part on the model, the chest piece. But either way, I have a bunch of outfits already ready for the model that the artist has agreed to work with. I have removed it for right now, but I will add it back. I'll go ahead and add it back, since technically I'm not stopping it right now, so I'll go ahead and reactivate it. Where is it? Oh shit, did I remove it? Okay, I removed it apparently completely. I thought I only deactivated it. Let me add a new reward for you guys. Alright, I added a new reward. Avatar change. Hi, Goblin Layer, use my ultimate skill. Is it plat, 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 get pregnant? I have problems. Unlimited back shots. Oh, so true. So very true. So very, very true. So very, very true. So yeah, going forward, starting next year, and around May is when the project will start. So I want to say early estimates. Let's see, April, May. probably around July, which amazingly enough seems to be whenever I do a new debut, which is weird. So like the earliest estimates is probably around July is when I will be able to use the model. Not sure when, if that'll be when I actually debut the model. But that again is just an estimate if the artist only takes like a month or so, but it's probably going to take longer than that. So probably around, I want to say September or October next year is probably when I'll fully be able to use it. 100 years later, children of a civilization of goblin children. Goblin kitsune girl children. Oh. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm not excited for the wait. I don't like waiting for things, but I understand that good things take time. I'm not good with waiting, but I will wait. Sadly. Sadly. So yeah. Goblin Kitsune Setsuna Fox in the future. Look forward to it. I'm currently helping somebody to get a new PC. Slowly but surely, hopefully we'll be able to get it funded. I might try to do a fundraiser for them for their PC. You just donate to their throne so they can get it. If I do that, I can help pay for it, but it'll take like a month or two to help get it. But either way, that's my next step. So don't expect anything big from me for a while. This model. Hold on. Yeah, this model was the biggest endeavor that I've had with the price wise. I'm gonna be taking it slow on models and stuff going forward. All the new stuff that I'm gonna be working towards is stuff that will be for Goblin Kitsune, so I can properly prepare and have an actual debut for that model and build up the real big hype surrounding it. The big hype. The real big hype. The hype that we all want. The hype. The hype, you know. The hype. The hype, nothing to do with what's behind me. Nothing to do with what's behind me. But yeah. Tomorrow's stream, if I can remember what tomorrow is. Tomorrow's Saturday, right? Yeah, tomorrow's Saturday. Okay, I'm not stupid. Tomorrow's stream is Goddess of Victory Nikke. We're going to be continuing on the Christmas event. And then Sunday we'll be doing some Girls Frontline 2. I have been playing it off stream because I want to play it off stream. And we're actually going to play it Sunday. And then I have a Monster Hunter stream planned for Wednesday. We were going to try to do it this week, but unfortunately, Kerbo got injured. Not like super bad injured, but they they had something get caught in their eye. So they weren't able to see very well, and their eyes swelled up. So it wouldn't have been a good idea to stream with one eye. And they passed out yesterday by accident. Because they've been very busy with their life. And I didn't want to stream Monster Hunter without them, because while I could do it by myself, it wouldn't have been very fun. I mean, it would have been fun, but it's more fun with Kerbo, so I didn't want to play without him. So I just canceled the stream yesterday and just chilled and did some offline stuff. I really didn't do much offline work that I wanted to do, but I enjoyed the small break. But don't worry, I promise you guys, the rest of this week will go off like normal. Well, not normal, because we have a Sunday stream. I'm going to be streaming on Sundays for a couple of weeks to see how I feel about trying to go back to 5 days a week. 5 days a week streams. I don't know if they'll stay, but we're going to try. So far, I have failed miserably in 5 day streams, because this was the first week trying to do a 5 day stream. And I think it was a good thing that it happened, because I did think I needed a small break from a stream yesterday. Even though I took a week break a couple of weeks ago, and then last week also had a stream missing for that week. 2 streams missing for that week. I'm trying to get back in the swing of things, and slowly but surely it's going to happen. And today was a good day, working on the story. Something that I had wanted to do for a while, but was too chicken to even try to do. So thankfully, I'm happy. I'm happy that we did that today. I'm happy that I wrote down and practiced some writing today, because I don't like feeling like I'm stupid. And it has nothing to do with you guys. It's all me. It's all me on that part. Is there anybody we can raid today? Is there anybody that I'm following that's live that isn't my VTuber mamas? They're the only ones on right now. I just need to hold up. Hold up what? What am I holding up? What am I holding up? Let me tell you something. What are you gonna tell me, huh? 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 Hmm? What are you gonna tell me? I'm all ears. Hmm? 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 The new update came and you can now check... Check what? I'm actually very confused. What are you talking about? What update are you talking about? The date I follow you? Really? I think I actually added that to the commands. I think I actually finally added that to commands through Stream Elements. Stream Elements, load for me, please. Chatbot, user management, no, chat commands. Yeah, I did. Exclamation point follow age. I added it now, so you can actually check how long you've been following me. Did I add any other ones? I did not. So yeah, I added that one. 9 months, 28 days, and 22 hours. Cool. That's nice. Yeah, I don't have many activated because most of them are weird. And I don't really know how to use half of them. Click on your name. Oh, hold on. Gotta bring it over a bit. Oh, since February 13th. That's when it says on my end. Oh, it also says when your account was created. Oh, I didn't realize that. Well, that's cool. That's cool. I didn't know that. Does it do that for my name? Well, that's cool. I didn't think they would add that. Well, that's nice. That's very nice. That is very nice. That's cool. They actually added a feature that is nice. Not something that nobody wanted. Which, you know, is a lot of times. There's a lot of times we don't want any of the stuff that they keep adding to it. But they keep adding it anyways. So we have to suffer and suffer. And I just want to know when I follow my favorite waifu, husbando, or chipmunk. If you know, you know. And knowledge is power. G.I. Joe! Ah! I have problems. Bye-bye, everybody. Let's see if I can. Let's see if there's anybody to raid real quick. I am sad for the world for that first thing that pops up. I only think it's... Yeah, there's only 2 people to raid. Nah, she's sleeping, so we don't really need to do that one. But the other one... Well, we raided her yesterday. Is there anybody else to raid? Events. No. Alright. I'm not going to raid the same person again, because I want to raid some more different people. But I don't really know who else to raid. So we're just going to go ahead and call it today. We're going to properly raid somebody tomorrow who's playing Goddess of Victory Nikke. So until then, thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for chatting, for lurking, for everything else in between. It was very fun today. Getting to do story stuff, which I made the executive's decision to do instead of playing Infinity Nikke. And sorry, I almost burped. Sorry, did it again. And I think it was a good idea. So tomorrow, we'll be back with more Goddess of Victory Nikke as we continue the event's main story, which I'm looking forward to because it's a very nice event. So thank you all one last time. Enjoy yourselves. Go punch some dolphins. They've had it too good for too long. Not real dolphin, not fake dolphins. Not the Miami Dolphins. Real dolphins. Go punch them square in the face. They've had it too good for too long. They're evil. They're very evil. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye, everybody.